Hello and welcome to my channel. I don't think I should say that. It's just stuff I throw online and hope somebody watches. So today I'm gonna tell you a story about high school. It's day two. I told you about day one, so now it's day two. Let me give you a brief picture of how my high school was. So every building inside that school was a perfect square. Like who in the world does that? It was a perfect square and it was built to resemble the African hat. That was the inspiration behind it. The African hats are not square. Stay with me. But this 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 these buildings, each and every building, I'm talking about classrooms, dormitories, everything, was built in a perfect square and it had this sort of a structure. I don't know what that is, but it's an African hat. So there was that, that thing that symbolizes the African hat. So every building was a perfect square. Day two, I'm waking up real early. I wake up at 6. First of all, in my high school, nobody used to wake up to take showers. Okay, it was a very few people used to do that, like 3 out of 100. And 3 out of 100 is really nothing. There's nobody. That's like technically nobody used to wake up. It's like you get 3 out of 100 in an exam. You People will be looking at you like, did you even write your name? Because three is a low number. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, so I wake up. I'm putting on my tie and everything, and I get out because I have issues with all these buildings that are built the same exact way. I look at the wall and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this wall was this side. I have issues with symmetry. Like I don't even like buildings that look exactly the same. Have you ever walked into a building and you look at this side and it looks like this side? The left wing looks like the right wing. You can't even tell what wing you're supposed to be in. Who the hell does that? We were not built for symmetry, okay? We're meant to differentiate stuff. So anyway, I get out. We're going to have breakfast and they put 2 slices on me and I was like, is there more? Why 2 slices? They looked at me like, welcome, welcome to high school, baby. 2 slices is all you're gonna get. I'm gonna pause there because after after we're done closing school, I went to visit my grandmother, and my grandmother was looking at me and she was like, "Wait a minute, son, are they not feeding you there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, grandma, they're not feeding me." Okay, so stop making jokes about how skinny I am. Anyway, back to high school. This is day two. We're done with breakfast, and we're going to class, and it's 10 a.m. It's time for a break. When we go for the break, usually during that time, people would go to the canteen and get a loaf of bread so that they can drink, so that they can take it with some tea. Not the tea that you're thinking about. This is just cold water and a bit of cocoa or drinking chocolate, whatever you want to call it. It was that brutal. By the way, drinking chocolate really doesn't mix well with cold water. But that's what we took. So a couple of my friends tell me, hey, you want to go to the canteen? I look at them and I'm like, what canteen? I already got biscuits. They're with my guardian. They look at me and they're like, okay, whatever, Mr. Biscuits. We go to the canteen, we'll leave you to it. And so I go back to the dormitory and I ask my guardian, hey, mister, where are my biscuits? He looks at me and is like, what, what biscuits are you talking about? I look at him, the biscuits that I gave you, the 300 biscuits that I gave you, the packet had 300 biscuits. Where are they, man? I don't got no time. He looks at me and is like, oh, you meant those biscuits. Yes, that's what I meant. Hurry up, man. He's like, wait a minute, now let me explain something to you, son. You see, around here is it's more like a brotherhood, and I'm looking at him like, speed up, man. What does brotherhood got to do with my biscuits? And he's like, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So because of that, we live like a community of brothers, and some of my brothers were hungry. These brothers that you see, they were hungry. So, yeah, you make the connection now. Your biscuits, hungry. Do you see what's happening here? Yeah, I see what's happening here. But there were 300 biscuits, for crying out loud. Did they eat all of them? Yeah, they ate all of them. You you essentially have no biscuits. You are biscuitless. At that moment he said that, I was like, I was I was angry on the inside, but I had been warned that life in high school was brutal. I just didn't think it was gonna be this brutal. Just just thinking about it. Anyway, so I go back. I'm so embarrassed right now. I'm carrying a cup of, a cup of cold water with chocolate with nothing, to take it with. And my friends are looking at me like, how did it go with the biscuits? It went horribly bad. And that's when I knew I was in for a tough ride. That was day two, buddy. In the evening, I came back. I think I was so confused that evening because I came back, and because this dormitories, they are built the same exact way. They have the same exact painting. They look the same. They have the same measurements. The beds are arranged the same. I even walked into the wrong dormitory. Yeah. I found somebody sleeping on a bed that was positioned in the same exact spot that my bed was positioned in the other dormitory, but I just didn't know I was in the wrong dormitory. So I was like, yo, buddy, I think you're sleeping in the wrong bed. He looks at me and he's like, dude, what is this place doing to you, man? Look around. Do you see any faces you recognize? This is not your dormitory. And I looked around, and sure enough, I was in the wrong dormitory. I don't like cemetery. Why did they build those dormitories the same exact way? And so I started on my quest to look for my bed, for my dormitory. But I found it. And I slept. An angry man. An angry and hungry man. Knowing that I was in for a ride. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is high school. Day two. Day three coming up. I don't even know how I remember this stuff. What the hell?